All right. I'm gonna just start it. I'm gonna say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone that do well, who I learned the truth from. And salutations unto the brothers and sisters out there that do take heed. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Barak HaShabbat. All right. Today is the Sabbath, the last quarter of the moon, and the new moon, or the new month, is coming in Sunday to Saturday. All right. Shalom to the brother on the comment. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah. Okay. I'm gonna get into it. It's a little uncomfortable. Let me just get on my phone. I'll just read it on here actually. Let me go on the blue letter. Okay, so through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I was meditating on different topics, and as the title is written, we're going to get into these different topics. The first topic is meekness, right? Which is another word for meekness is humility, or being humble. Okay, very important, because that is where power lies. Power lies in meekness, man. The sooner people understand that, I'm talking about the elect, because you people out there are proud, and you're set forth to be proud, because pride cometh before destruction. Okay, so your destruction is very imminent, as it says in the book of Second Ezra, that because of their great pride, the city shall be troubled, right? And basically, you know, as soon as you realize that you ain't shit, we're not anything. You know, the Most High called Jacob. I'm gonna bring it up just for reference sake, for diligence sake. This is Isaiah 41:14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. So the Most High is telling, fear not, thou worm Jacob, man. A worm is a low animal. A worm is, he's not even on the ground. He's below the ground. You know, you're underground. So a worm is a despised creature, so to speak, a very low creature, disgusting creature, right? And the Most High is calling Jacob a worm because we're in a low state. We're in a low vibration. We're in a low spiritual state. The Most High is raising up the elect, their vibrancy, their frequency, so to speak. All these words, you know, their power, so you can understand. Okay, and basically, when you find out that you ain't shit, okay, as it says, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, said the Lord Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So who's going to help us? The Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're going to help us. We can't help ourselves, man. I can't help myself. No man really, as much as they try to proclaim work hard and study and do good, and you're going to get all these great benefits, you cannot forecast, I'll say, a storm or the current events in your own life. You can try to make an algorithm or a formula so you can understand, okay, I'm going to work this job a year and do this, like Jacob, right? He looked well unto his going, as it says in the book of Proverbs, to look well unto your goings, right? But at the end of the day, he knew, and spiritual men know, you're supposed to know that each day you cannot take for granted, you know? You cannot take each day for granted. Each day is a blessing from the Lord, really. And as soon as you realize that we ain't shit, you know, it's going to be easier, because the Most High, he wants us to be low right now. You know, he wants us to be meek and fear him so he can deal with us, right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua wants us to fear him and be meek so he can deal with us. Okay, the premise of the lesson is in the book of Numbers, for meekness at least. I was going over this, and it's a spiritual thing, man, because in the ancient world, we know the Most High, he dealt with us literally almost like face to face as a friend. You know, like he dealt with Abraham. Abraham was called a friend of the Most High. So during the time of Moses, when we had our tabernacles and our camps set up, the Most High will be in the midst of the tabernacle. That's why in the law it tells you, even if you shit, take a number two, you could not do that in the midst of the camp. You had to actually go outside with a shovel. It tells you that in the book of Deuteronomy, I believe, in the law, right? Because you had to keep that place so clean. So as Yahweh Shem Shai is starting to deal with us more and more, we have to clean ourselves up, man. We got to the best of our ability, because the Most High does not deal with unclean people. And as Apostle Gabar always says, the Most High, he demands perfection. Bar used to say that a lot, and it kind of just flew by my head. I didn't really fully digest it until recently. I'm like, it doesn't literally mean to be perfect, because in these bodies we can't be perfect, but it means to strive. That's why that is where Paul, which I can bring up. This is what Paul said, right? 1 Corinthians 9:25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. So we are striving for that mastery, okay? That status of perfection, right? Which will be given to you if you overcome, pursuant to Revelations 2 and 26 to 30. Is temperate in all things. Temperate meaning patient, okay? That's where you get the word temper from. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we incorruptible. He was comparing people in the sports in the Olympics back then, right? So they do it like these people, right? Like, for example, a boxer. What is his ultimate goal, right? To be a master at his craft. It's not even a belt. The belt is just a token that yes, you reach that status. But as soon as you're champion, there's no more belts. You have to keep that belt, and you have to prove why you are the best by defending that belt, right? A real champion is really someone that defends their belt multiple times. It's not someone, yes, you achieve that level, but you get dethroned from your first defense. You're good, but you haven't reached that real level. A guy like Anderson Silva, for example, he's one of my favorite fighters. Um, he had what 10 consecutive title defenses, which was a record that was just recently broken. But 10 title defenses, that's a very big thing, especially in that division, 185 pounds, middleweight. It's a big thing. So my point is, they do it for a corruptible crown, the belt and the status and whatnot. But my point is, like a boxer, for example, again, what does he train for? He trains to be a master at his craft. He has to be a master, right? He has to know what to do. He jab, right? He has to slip, right? Duck under. He has to know the fundamentals. He has to know the footwork, the angles, rhythm, timing, agility, balance. All these things that play in the factor of a boxer. He's striving for that mastery. Okay, what are we striving for? We're striving for the crown. For the pardon from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. From you know, that status of perfection. That's what we're really striving for. And that can only be bestowed upon you from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So again, when Apostle Gabar said that, it makes sense now, because he requires perfection. So the Lord knows our situation, that we are attacked 24/7 by spiritual forces, by physical forces, by this world. We're in these corruptible bodies, which makes it harder for us to do the things we want, as it says in the book of Romans chapter 7. Paul says, the things that I would do, I do not. And the things that I would not do, those things I do, because the spirit, the flesh is constantly battling against the spirit. Your spirit inside you, right? Like they say, it dwells in your mind, the crown. It knows what it wants. It wants to do righteousness, because we are Israelites. We want to do righteousness, but our flesh is weak. Our mind might go off into other parts and dwindle and meditate upon foolishness, right? Because our body is subject to the vibrations of the earth. right? To all these things that Esau attacks us with. Subliminal messages, frequencies, EMFs, all this crazy shit that this devil is doing, which we're going to get into later, hence the title biowarfare as well. You know, these things play a big role on you, right? So the Most High demands perfection, man. So we got to the best of our ability, clean ourselves, man, so that Yahweh Shem Yahushua can deal with us, because it does not say in 1 Corinthians 3:16 that we are the temple of the Most High. We are the temple, right? We are the temple of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So a temple that is not clean, right? In the ancient world, the temple had to be spotless. I'm talking about the physical temple. So again, let's go to Numbers 12:1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses. We're going to read the whole chapter. Because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And yes, Moses dealt with a Cushite. Okay? He dealt with a Cushite. And they said, have the Lord Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord Yahweh heard it. So, granted, take into account, Moses had to marry the daughter. I believe this is further expounded on in the Josephus, which was an Israelite historian, that he had to marry a Cushite king's daughter to make peace with the city. I'm not fully remembering the story, but it was something to that effect. So it was like a political thing. So he had to deal with the woman. But the Lord, he didn't see that as an offense, because you can deal with whichever kind of woman you want to, right? But what did he hear? What did the Lord hear? He heard that pride, that arrogance of Aaron. Aaron being the brother of Moses, right? So the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. You see that? So Moses was the meekest, humblest man on the earth, man. You know, when the Lord came to him, he was a young man. He said, I can't speak to these people. I don't speak well, he even said. And I believe he said, I'm going to have Aaron, your brother, speak for you. So he was a man that was probably made fun of. Maybe he had a stutter. Maybe he couldn't speak very flamboyantly, you know, charismatically, right? Because he was a leader. He was, matter of fact, the first king of Israel. It was at Deuteronomy 33, I believe. So he was a humble man. He walked maybe with his head down. People didn't notice him. The point is, he was a very meek man. That's the lesson that we're trying to get to you. Verse 4, and the Lord Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, the sister, and this story cracks me up, man. Come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the ground, and stood in the door of the tabernacle. See, so my point is, again, the Lord literally dealt with you, man. He came down, you know, not his full totality, but you know what I mean? His spirit came down, man, right? Not his full glory, because the earth cannot withstand the full glory of the Lord. It can't comprehend it, man. It's too powerful. And the Lord Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud. So he came in a chariot and stood in the door of the tabernacle. You see that? You see that? And called Miriam and Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. See, so he's telling me we have regular prophets that I speak with in visions and dreams, but Moses is not so. He's a special man. Verse 8, with him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, meaning plain, and not in dark speeches. He's not going to speak parabolically to Moses. He's going to speak to him straight up. This is what I want you to do. This is my will. Here, like in Star Wars, when Vader came to Darth Sidious, what is thy bidding, my master? And that's how the relationship was with Moses and the Most High. They literally spake with other people. The Most High didn't even visit them. He just gave them dreams, man, and visions, right? So showing you there's special men out there, man, and it's a damn shame for anyone that offends those men. That's why the Lord said in Matthew, what is that, 18, Better was it for them that a millstone were hanging about their neck and they should be dropped into the to the bottom of the ocean than to offend one of these little ones. You know, right? And not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord Yahweh shall he behold. And this is a great point when people say the Lord, oh, there's no color to the Lord. If you look up this word similitude, it means image or likeness. So no, it's not talking about a physical flesh person, but it is an image. Okay. And how did he look like? Daniel 7 and 9. He had dark brown skin with white woolly hair and a white woolly beard. That's the similitude of the Lord, of Yahweh I'm talking about. And that's why when I forgot which disciple asked in John, in the book of John, he said, it was a Philip, when he asked to see the Lord. And Yahweh, what did Yahweh say? He said, listen, when you have seen me, ye have seen the Lord. Because why? Yahweh is the son of the Most High. So he, like father, like son, you're going to resemble the Most High. So when you see Yahweh, that's how the Most High looks. And damn straight, Yahweh came in the flesh. So when we talk about God as black, so to speak, like on a very basic term, we know black it doesn't describe really a skin tone because no one is black. Okay, no one is white. But when we tell people God is black, this is a scripture that proves that, because he said a similitude of the Lord will he see. It wasn't no cracker, man. It wasn't no. He didn't look like a Moabite or a Hamite, you know, with a fucking nose ring and all this bugged out shit. He looked like a so-called Judite or Judite, so-called American black person. Okay, what do you call African American? All these bywords and titles and proverbs. He looked like the Lord Yahushua, right? So again, this proves that the Most High has a similitude. He has a resemblance. He didn't come down looking like a blob. If you, like I said, if you look up a word similitude, it means likeness or image. Okay. And the similitude of the Lord Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? The Don came to you, man. Hey, this is the Don speaking. And he said, what, you're not afraid to talk shit against Moses? Verse 9, and the anger of the Lord Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. You see that the Lord came, man. He said, hey, you're not afraid to talk shit against Moses, my servant, whom he just displayed that he deals with him like a friend, and no other man deals with the Most High like that. He said, you're not afraid. And that's how you know them Italians, man. They're jakes too, because that's how. This reminds me of a mob scene in a movie, you know, like when the Don comes and he talks to you, or one of the top Capones or whatever you call them, they come up and talk to you, like a friend, you know. Hey, how's it going? Hey, what was that thing you're supposed to do for me? Oh yeah, it was late or whatever, or I didn't have time. Oh, that's okay, that's okay. And he'll walk away, you know. And maybe a day later, your car explodes, or maybe someone will just come in and shoot you and gun you down. And that's what the Lord did, because he said, hey, he didn't tell them, I'm going to punish you, I'm going to do this. His anger was kindled. He said, you're not afraid? And then he just did. He just left on his chariot, and he's just like, here, man, you know, Miriam became leprous, man. He gave her leprosy. You know, that's spiritual. Hey, man, you got to see this thing like apostles, the apostles tell you. You have to envision it. You have to see it, man. You know, you got to actually see this thing. It has to be in your mind. Like what I mean by see is you got to have like a picture in your mind. You got to envision things, right? Verse 11, and Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord. And he called, and the word Lord here is not in capitals. I don't know if that's in the verse 11, right? He says, alas, my Lord. If you look up, it's not in capitals, meaning it's just a title. When you see, for example, like up here in verse 9, when it says Lord in all capital letters, and you look it up, um, That's the name Yahweh. That's why when sometimes I read it, I'll say Lord and I'll say Yahweh, because when you see it in all capitals, it's Yahweh. Okay, that's actually the name. When you see the word Lord and just the first letter is capital and the rest are lowercase, that's just implying a title. We're lords as well. We're lords under the Supreme Lord. That's why he's known as the Most High. And then you have his son Yahushua, whom all things were bestowed upon. And then you have the angels in their rightful positions. You have the elect who are above angels as well, because it tells you we're going to judge angels. So the elect are the elect are angels themselves, man. If you brothers be of the elect, you're angels that were there from the beginning with the Lord Yahushua creating the whole universe. So we're lords as well. We're gods, because the word God just means power. In the Hebrew, it's Allah, which means A-H-L-A. That's how you spell it. Okay, not the Arabic way. That's where they get it from, the Hebrew. All right, we're lords as well. Okay, just like in the ancient world, you had lords. You said, "My lord," right? When we watch those medieval movies, "My lord, my lord," in England. But then what did you have? You have a king. So people think lord is the top title that you have. No, because in the ancient world, you had kings, you had emperors, which an emperor was the ruler of the whole empire, but he had kings under him, right? Like the king, the emperor Constantine. He was an emperor of the Christian Byzantine Empire, but he had kings under him. He had a king in Greece, he had a king in Italy, right? That were kings. Then you had like different titles, nobles and lords and duchesses and dukes, all these different titles. But again, just bringing out that we're lords as well. So now Aaron, hey, Jake, man, alas, my lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. You see how the Most High fights for you, man. If you're meek and humble, you're a meek man. A lot of times in your life, you'll notice that there's outside things that help you. You know what I mean by that is maybe someone that you don't even know might help you in your situation. You know, like on the highways, we try to be meek, man. You know, we're bold as a lion through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, as it instructs us to be in rebuking and admonishing and reproving people. But we're not out there trying to start fights. People come up, people, and people, what's the word I lost? People antagonize us. People provoke us. You will never see a video where one of us will push anybody or just touch anyone in general. Okay, we fight with our words. We're intellectuals. You know, we'll have psychological warfare before we have physical warfare. And a lot of times, when you say what you say to somebody can either tone them down or build them up in aggression. But we will never touch anybody, because that's not what we're supposed to do. We're not fighters. Okay, we're just ambassadors. We are ambassadors. We're supposed to be um, har- wise as a serpent, as Yahweh Shah instructed us. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. A dove, man. Isn't the international sign for peace a dove? So a dove is very harmless. So we're not supposed to be harmful on the streets, and we're not. Again, all the fights or altercations you can say that happen on the highways with us and any other camps, it's all by the outside people, so to speak. The people that come and antagonize us. People lay their hands on us. I've had people lay their hands on me. I've seen brothers get hands laid on them. People touch us, try to push us. That's when we defend ourselves. That's not called attacking. That is called defending, when you don't allow someone to impose their will on you, and their will being to harm you. If someone is trying to harm me, why would I stand there and let them impose their will upon me and let them do whatever the hell they want? They can knock me out unconscious and kidnap me, do whatever the hell they want. Why would I allow someone to do that? That is where the law comes in. If a police officer comes and everything is on footage, listen, he attacked me. He came into my personal space and he laid hands on me. I defended myself to the best of my ability because I feared for my life. That is in the court of the law. That's a different case. We're not out there starting the fights. We're not, someone comes up and says fuck you guys, or you guys are talking shit, and then one of the brothers comes and just knocks him out. That will never ever happen. That has never happened. Okay? Again, man, meekness. I have seen on the highways people that I never knew come and help us because someone was attacking us, man. So again, man, you see how Aaron flipped the script. You know, his whole thing just flipped. He called Moses my Lord. Moses is meek. He probably like, why you call me Lord? Or, you know, like, he was a meek man, bro. Like, when it says, like, when it really says he was the meekest man upon earth, that means he was the, you know, like you have the high top Israelites all the way down to the low, which we're all going to be great, but you still have the skill, do you not? Right? Like King David and the smallest man. That's why it says in the book Isaiah, the smallest of you shall become like a great nation. But again, he was the meekest man on the earth, which really made him the most powerful man. Okay? And verse 12, Aaron says, let her not be as one dead. So if you have leprosy, you're as one dead, man. That's why the Gaddis and Native Americans are brothers. He said, you guys are pale faces, man. And you have a forked tongue, right? So he says, you are as dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord Yahweh, saying, heal her now, O power, I beseech thee. See, Moses wasn't like, laughing and joyful. Moses cried unto the Lord. And check this out, verse 14. And the Lord is a stern teacher, man. That's another lesson the Lord is what I can do through the Spirit. But the Lord is a very stern teacher. He says, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again. You see, so the Lord didn't heal her right away. The Lord is you people, you don't know the Lord, man, especially you retarded ass Christians out there, man. You don't know the Lord. You do not know the power of the Lord. All these scriptures, like, you read this, oh, he was just teaching her a lesson. Well, it sounds like a mean lesson to me. It doesn't sound like the Lord that I hear about in the Christian church, about he's all loving, he's peaceable, he's merciful. Yes, he's those things, but what about the other side? I hear Christians always talk about the Lord, he doesn't do evil. What are you talking about, man? In the book of Isaiah 45 and was that 7, I believe he says, I create good and evil. I make peace and make war. And Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war, man. You know, and there's all kinds of other scriptures, man. But you Christians talking all that shit about the Lord. The Lord is omnipotent. What does the word omnipotent mean? Omni meaning many or all, and potent, that's where you get the word potent, means powerful. So all powerful. How are you all powerful if you only have access to half the pie, so to speak? He only controls the good, and the evil Satan does, and Satan does whatever the hell he wants. And if the Lord doesn't like something, then Satan does it anyway, and the Lord has no control over that. How is he called omnipotent then? That means he should be half potent. You know, I don't know the Latin word for half, but omnipotent means he controls the whole spectrum. He's looking at it like this. The universe is like this to the Lord. He's looking at it in the palm of his hands like this, you know, and it's just spinning. And he's just playing around with doing what he wants to do, man. I'm just giving you a visionary. I'm not saying he's actually doing it. Maybe he could be doing it, I don't know, but the Lord is all potent, man. That's why you praise the Most High, man. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, all day, man. All day. He has 24 angels doing that 24/7, man. That's a powerful power, man. You Christians, man, you're gonna find out the power of the Lord. You guys are dry as hell, man. I used to go to a food bank with a brother when times were tough. We went to a food bank, and it was in a church, and you had to sit through the fucking thing, man. You had to sit through the sermon, and it was an interesting situation. Me and the brother were going there, and we had to listen to the person speak, and they read scriptures. They read the scriptures. I can say that. They didn't just sing and talk shit. They did read certain stories. You know, they broke them down like a hack job. Like they couldn't break it down properly, obviously. But you know, we got tired of it, so we just. I remember I brought my apocrypha and the brother brought his scriptures, and we just read. And certain people came up and they seen, because we highlighted our apocryphas. The whole thing was highlighted, and you know, people came and they, oh man, that thing's highlighted, man. Oh, holy, that thing's red. You know, and I said, hey, it's meant to be read, man. You got to read it. So we're reading it, and after each sermon, there's appointed people that come up to you and they ask you certain questions, and at the end of it, I think you have to fill out some papers, and then at the end of it, they said, "Do you want me to pray for you?" And there's people, you know, there's people that, you know, yeah, and they pray together. I always, obviously, me and the brother, we said, no, I prayed this morning. I told him, you know, I already prayed this morning, which, you know, we did. Night before, Lord's will, we prayed. Um, but I remember this one dude. They asked him, "Do you want me to pray for you?" He said, "No, no, no, no." You know, he just said completely no. But the point is, I remember at that food bank, I was talking to this one woman, and we were actually reading the book of Judges, where the tribe of Benjamin was raping the woman. Because in the scriptures, they were literally just taking them up. If you read the story of the tribe of Benjamin, how they came back, because they were almost exterminated. But in the book of Judges, it shows you um, that they came back and they seen the woman, and they took them without their consent. Some of them might have screamed, some of them might have said no, but that was literally rape, to seize. That's what the word rape means, to seize. So, but the way she looked at it, she's like, "Oh, it's funny, right? The tribe of Benjamin, just seeing a woman and just taking her and just, oh, that was a funny." And she's laughing, but I'm like, "Hey, man, if you were back there, that was rape, you know?" But it's the way she looked at it, man. And I'm just like, you're simple as hell, man. In my mind, I said, you're a simple ass woman, man. She's a woman anyway, but you know, that's how these Christians look at these really serious, stern stories, man. Like they'll read about David killing 10,000. The Lord, yes, he blessed him. Lord, David, man, he was cutting heads off, fucking taking a man's spirit, gouging it through his fucking eyes. You know, taking a sword, putting it through someone's mouth. You know, like a real war movie you would watch, like in the ancient world. But they look at it like, oh, you know, he was just flying and people were being lifted up, and you know, like just some rated G bullshit movie, man, where they don't want to show you gore and how actual battles actually got down in the ancient world. All right. So back to Numbers 12 and 15. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days. You see that? And the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. And afterward, the people were moved from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran. You see that? So, um, hey man, the Lord shut out Miriam for 7 days. He basically said, "Don't let her come back in." You know, he didn't heal her right then. That's the point. And again, I want to get one more scripture in the book of Ecclesiasticus. But the point is meekness, man. That, you know, the Most High. If you're meek, man, the Most High deals with you more. And real meekness, you know, not faking the funk. You're praying for meekness. You're asking the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yashai Babakosha, make me meek and humble, you know, and never proud and boastful, you know, because those are things the Lord does not like, you know. This says Ecclesiasticus Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 4, verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. You know, when I remember when I first came across the scripture, man, this was one of my favorite scriptures, and it still is to this day, because strive for the truth, right? Honor, humility, integrity, all these words, right? All these characteristics and titles and virtues, values. Um, I can read on here actually, but yeah, the point is strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee, man. So if you will be humble and strive for the truth, you know, being faithful, being forgiving to your brother, loving your brother, being patient with your brother if he goes off or trespass against you, you know. Verse 29, be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss, right? Meaning, be not hasty in your tongue. Don't a babbler. No one likes a babbler because no one understands what the hell is going on. That's what the word babble means: confusion, Babylon, right? Babel. Um, yeah, hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss in thy deeds, man, in your works. Verse 31, let not thine hand be stretched out to receive and shut when thou shouldest repay. Meaning, you're that welfare Israelite, like the apostles bring out. Apostle Abraham Lab, he made a beautiful show last week about being careful of brothers, trusting. You have to make sure that um, you trust that brother. You got to make sure that um, you know that brother that is your friend, that he's been tested, because it tells you that a friend cannot be known, um, or an enemy cannot be hid in adversity, and a friend cannot be known in prosperity, because everything's good, everyone's eating, everyone's laughing, it's fine. You know, when shit is low, shit is bad, and that's another test too, man. When the chip gets implemented, and the Lord has to provide for you through faith, you might get scraps here and there of food, water, whatever your living situation is during that time, which is very near at the door. That's where faith comes in, because brothers might ask, you know, I'll just get the chip, fuck it, man. You know, like real shit, man. You might see a brother that you knew at the store, and he's like, you know, when the chip is implemented, you're just like, God damn. You ask the brother, what's up, man? He's like, all right, hey. And that's what a majority of you guys, man. I hear brothers see guys that fell out the camp or whatever, which I got no beef with anybody, man. From outside the camp, everybody supposed to got beef with me, but I got no beef with anybody, right? But from what I hear, when brothers see guys, they just have this like like shit face look, man. You know, you ask them, hey, what's up? Tired, you know, like that kind of look, man. It's just sad, man. It's just damn, like yo, you know, like I hear stories and shit about what happened really with that brother in that situation, and man, like damn, you know, like that was a simple thing for you to do, just repent, you know, just pray to the Lord. But you know, if you have a cancer and you let it keep growing and growing and growing, and you don't treat it, man, it's gonna take over your whole damn body, and you're gonna be finished, man. You're gonna be destroyed, you know. Um, so let not thy hand be stretched out to receive and shut when thou shouldest receive. So again, like the Apostle Aramla made the video, don't trust just anybody. They have to be proven, and that's 100% true. So meaning your hands are out, meaning, oh, can I borrow $20? Can I get this for free? You know, brothers, hey, Yaquab, right? Jacob, meaning supplanter, an overthrower, a trickster, so to speak. That's where Gad, you know, tricksters. But and shut when thou shouldest repay. So you're all open, yeah, I get this, but then hey, the same brother that gave you $100 might even forgot about the $100. Just asks you for like a $20, man, and you're just like, I ain't got it right now. And you know damn well you got that $20 in your pocket. You're gonna go get some nasty ass wine or something, man. You know, or you should pay back that $100. Nah, I ain't got it right now. You know, unless like you got like rent, you know, something like vital to pay. But you know, that's what that scripture means. Okay, so I'm gonna shift through the Spirit of the Lord to the next topic, bio warfare and other topics. This is some crazy shit, man. A brother called me, or a brother from last week. He couldn't make it to camp. I'm not gonna specify who he is. He can make a video if he wants about it. But he had a certain ailment, where it was hurting him in his stomach, man. You know, he woke up hurting in pain from Saturday. Um, so later on, we found out that it was basically like candida overgrowth and a pathogen, which just means like a toxic organism in his body, like a bug. But it was really from a flu as well, from an avian flu. Avian flu is carried by birds. Now this devil, man, I actually had this 2 weeks ago. I had this 2 weeks ago, the day before my sorrow day, my birthday. I call it sorrow day. Um, a day before my birthday, I fell ill. I couldn't even get up. My stomach hurted. I started getting nauseous, sweating profusely, head hurting, flu-like symptoms. Right? I said, "What the fuck's going on?" You know. I did certain medical protocols, and then I took a bath in Himalayan salt, right, to detox, which that happened to me before. So it was basically like a flu, right? But I got checked out later. It was biowarfare, biological warfare. That's what biowarfare stands for. And then even when I took the bath, I got up and I showered off. I threw up in the damn shower, man. So I said, damn, and then some nasty ass black shit came out, you know? So I said, holy man, that's some crazy. I didn't eat that. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's some pathogens, again, toxic substance. So the point being, I had that 2 weeks ago. So brother called me, or I talked to the brother. He couldn't make it to camp. I said, "What's wrong, man?" And he said his abdomen's hurting him, and he's in a lot of pain. So when we checked him out, he had candida, which candida, everyone has candida. It's like a fungus, right? The main thing is you're not supposed to have it overgrow. And how do you overgrow it? It loves sugar, it loves processed food, yeast. That's why during the time of the Passover, you're getting a detox, you're getting a cleanse because you're not consuming yeast or leaven, which that's like a candida superfood. It grows on it. The point is not to let it overgrow, which when it overgrows, you see what happens. You get fatigued, you might get nauseous, fever-like symptoms again. So I told the brother I did certain treatments on him. I told him to get garlic. But before that I have an article. This is from Natural News. And I already knew this was biowarfare. It wasn't just a avian flu carried by birds. Um, it was biological warfare, man. This devil, he releases shit into the air. That's why we really, man, really, when you look at it, we need to get the fuck out of here, man. This is a like if some random person tunes in, they're gonna think I'm crazy. But this is like a fucking prison, man. This is a prison, not like this is a concentration camp. That's why the apostles, they made a documentary a couple years ago, America, the great concentration camp, Babylon the Great, the concentration camp. This is a fucking prison, man. This is the Matrix, bro. We are literally in the Matrix, right? So they release shit into the air. Never mind the chemtrails, which is aluminum. You're breathing in heavy metals, which aluminum, they found a link to Alzheimer's disease. A great buildup of toxic aluminum in the brain. you know, weakens the immune system, gives you respiratory problems, etc., etc. But they release other shit in the air, man. We are literally being fucking poisoned. Never mind the food, never mind the water, the fluoride, and all the garbage and the pesticides and all that shit in the water. You go outside and breathe. You're breathing in fucking toxins, man. Literally toxic shit. And if you don't detox yourself, you have to learn how to detox yourself. The number one thing I would recommend to someone is if they have some kind of ailment or not every ailment, but in general, you feel like shit, you feel like garbage, detox your liver, okay? Detox your liver. If you detox your liver has over 100 functions in the body, okay? Your liver is the one that deals with toxins in the body. Your liver actually detoxes the body. Your liver naturally is supposed to detox your body. If your liver is not detoxing your body, that means your liver is fried. And you need to take some liver detoxes and liver tonics. Tonic means to build up, to tone, right? Um, your liver detoxes. And your liver detoxes at a certain time, I believe from 1 a.m. to 2 p.m., 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., if not later, when you sleep. And guess what? If you're not sleeping during that time, you miss that point. This is why night shifts and all this shit, I used to do night shifts. I used to do 12-hour night shifts from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I miss everything. My melatonin production, um, your liver detox, and your body does a lot more things when you sleep. That's why there's a thing called circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is your biological clock. Okay? Um, your body does all those things. Again, detox your liver. Look up natural detoxes. I would recommend herbs. Herbs are some of the most safest ways. Be careful of what kind of herbs you get. A very gentle detox I can, off the top of my head, for people that are watching, is you can use triphala. Triphala are 3 fruits. One of them is the amla. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it's an Indian herb. But trifle is a combination of 3 different fruits. And they had a saying in India, if you have these fruits, if you have no mother and you have these fruits, you'll be good. That's a saying there. Because that's how nutritious they are. It provides a very gentle detox for your liver. You can take 3 500 milligram capsules 2 times a day, so 6 capsules a day. It's a very gentle detox. There's other benefits, of course, minerals and whatnot. But that's a very good thing I can think of off the top of my head. For more people like severity, like hepatitis, right? If you got like hepatitis C, A is the only infection causing one, or spreading, or what's that word? When it can go on someone else, I forget the word. Um, that's the only infectious one. If you got some of that shit, you need to look into further detoxing your body on a higher level. And I mean detoxing your body, not just your liver. But your liver is the one attacked. Hepatitis means inflammation. The word hepa is liver, and itis. Whenever you hear itis, like arthritis, itis is inflammation. Okay, which inflammation is just a degradation of your tissues of your body. You want to reduce that, right? That's why you have anti-inflammatory foods. Yeah, man. If you got hepatitis, bro, you need to look into like dandelion root, milk thistle, um, burdock root. Those are very good herbs. I can't think of any more, but look into liver tonics. Okay, and more likely than not, you're probably gonna have to do your kidneys as well. When Jake was in China, for example, right? They had, because we know this ain't from you gooks, man. This ain't from you Moabites. This is from Jake. The Chinese, which were Israelites at that time, they called this thing the 3 treasures. Like if you look up 3 treasures Chinese medicine, they describe 3 treasures, meaning each treasure is an organ, represents an organ. I'm gonna try to get the name of the 3 organs. But basically, I believe it's liver, kidney, um, and I forget the third one. I can't find it right now. But it was the three treasures, right? So again, when you look at the body, the best way to detox, start with the liver, kidney flush, right? They're called liver flush and kidney flush. That's like the new term, I guess, that they call detoxes. But it's called liver flush and kidney flush. Very gentle, again. Um, People also, again, do a candida flush. I call it flush. Parasites. Everyone has parasites, man. Worms. If listen, man, if you never did a detox and you never shit out worms, you got worms in you, bro. You got parasites, And that, it's not a laughing matter, because people actually, what happens? Why is that bad? You can have worms in your brain. People die from worms in their fucking brain, man, because they can reach to your brain. They can pass the blood-brain barrier because they travel into your blood. Um, they feed off your food. They steal your nutrients. If you're eating, you people out there taking your supplements, and I'm taking this superfood, I'm eating this, I'm doing that. If you got parasites, fungus, worms, candida, that shit is eating all those minerals. You're buying those parasites and all that nasty shit. They're living off you buying those supplements. They're living freely off you, and they love it, man. And again, how are you continually feeding them? You're probably still eating white sugar, right? Sweets, candies, donuts, like all that regular shit. The point is, you're supposed to flush it. You can still have those things once in a while. I mean, we all have those cravings. And those cravings, funny enough, they come from that. That's where you get it from. Candida, worms, they crave it, man. They actually send signals to your brain telling you we need it. And that's why when you look at a Snickers bar, you'll remember happy times. You associate happy times because them fucking demons and parasites, they're craving that shit, man. And they're calling you forth to get it. The brother asked, would the tea help to detoxify the body? You got to specify what tea, which tea. But gentle detox, another thing you can take is drink as a daily thing is chlorophyll, copper chlorophyll. It's a liquid supplement. You can get at a health food store. Just get chlorophyll. Very, very good. That's a gentle daily detox. The chlorophyll is what makes the plants look green. It's literally like the blood, the life of the plants. Um, that's the chlorophyll. It's a gentle detox. It's good for bloating, good for constipation, um, good copper source as well. All right. But again, man, back to the original point. So the brother took the garlic I told him, right? Um, no, back to the article, Slakia. Back to the article, right? So this is Natural News. CDC, which is Center for Disease Control, covered up truth about deadly bird flu virus strain shipped to Atlanta. You see that? That's why when I found it, I said, this is no surprise, man. This is no fucking surprise. There seems to be no end to the blundering at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as yet another accident involving sloppy laboratory procedures and deadly viral strains has been reported. According to the Associated Press, one of the federal agency's scientists kept quiet about a potentially dangerous lab mistake, revealing it only after other workers in another lab noticed something strange an internal CDC investigation has found. As further reported by the Associated Press, the accident happened in January at the headquarters of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta. You Jakes in Atlanta are fucked because they're probably running all kinds of tests on you. A lab scientist accidentally mixed a deadly strain of bird flu with a tamer strain and sent the mix to another CDC lab and to an outside lab in Athens, Georgia. Athens, Georgia, man. Greeks, man. Though no one was made ill by the bird flu, unsuspecting scientists nevertheless worked with the viral mix for a number of months before the error was finally discovered, which could have led to infection. You see, so they do this shit, and this is to a lab. You don't think they do this shit to regular cities and shit and send it out? Of course they do. So then I looked up this thing on Natural News, the 8 best herbal home remedies to fight avian flu or bird flu viruses, because they spread it through the fucking air, man. And these birds are catching it, and then they spread it to you because it's infections. Infections travel. They're contagious. That's the word I was looking for. Avian flu or bird flu was confined primarily to birds, mostly chickens, up to the 1990s. So we're gonna skip through it. So okay, there's a couple of herbs. Astragalus, that's a good herb. Astragalus. That's a very good immune boosting herb. They actually give it to people that come off chemotherapy, because when you come off chemotherapy, you're very depleted. Your immune system is very weak. Echinacea, that's a good herb. Garlic, I gave the brother garlic, or I told him take it, and he took also ginger by himself. He took ginger, which is very good as well. Garlic, turmeric, right? Oregano oil. That's a very high. That's a potent antibiotic. Okay, so yeah, man, they're attacking you. This devil is, we're gonna bring out a scripture, um, book of Revelations 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, which is these other nations. That's who the dead represents. Um, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. Like I said, there's a scale, right? Small and great Israelites. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look up this word destroy in the Greek, see if it expounds on it more. I'm not sure if it does. But the most High is gonna destroy them that destroy the earth, man. And who's destroying the earth? You Edomites. Damn Edomites, man. So the word destroy in the Greek.
G 1311. Diaphthyro.
Diaphthyro, which means to change for the worse. Damn, to corrupt of minds, morals, to destroy, ruin. So who the hell corrupts minds and morals, man? Starting with the Amalekites, these so-called Jews, man. You're the ones that influence so much things financially, through the media, through doctrine, right? Damn, that's wild. I never looked at this word before. This, to destroy, to ruin, to consume, right? Who the hell is fracking and mining oil, destroying the earth, chopping down forests and natural reserves, man? You know, it ain't the people on the sign, the 12 tribes of Israel. I tell you that. Fear and strength of the worm or moth that eats provisions, clothing, to destroy, to kill. Hey, man, that's when Planet of the Apes, the old one in the '60s with Charles Heston. You watch was here, you know. Um, when Cornelius brought out the scroll, he said, "Beware of the beast man," right? He said, "Beware of the beast man." Matter of fact, if I'll find it, I can get it, so the brothers that are watching they can see it. I don't know if you brothers ever saw it before. This is from the old one. This is 55 seconds.
What I know of man was written long ago, sent down by the greatest ape of all, our lawgiver. Cornelius, come here.
See, who's the lawgiver? Yahushua.
Reach into my pocket.
That's one of his titles in Genesis 49.
29th scroll.
Jesus, give me the scroll. 6th verse. Cornelius, that's a
the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn. Alone among God's primates, he kills for sport, or lust, or greed. Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. Let him not breed in great numbers, for he will make a desert of his home and yours. Shun him. Drive him back into his jungle lair, for he is the harbinger of death.
Hey, and let's look up this word harbinger too. That sounds like a good word, man. But that was back in the '60s. Harbinger, harbinger noun. One sent ahead to arrange lodgings from late 15th century Slovakia. Alteration of Middle English herbiger, provider of shelter, innkeeper. Right. Let's go to the point, to the root. Army shelter from German shelter. So he's like a shelter of death, man. You know, he's a harbinger of death. He keeps death. He is death, man. You know that. Hey, that's beautiful. That's why where is that book of Nahum or Habakkuk? Hey, that's beautiful, man. This is how the spirit flows, man. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, meaning it's not righteous. But the just shall live by his faith. That's why we are faith-based Israelites. Yes, we are faith-based Israelites. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, meaning the philosophies, different doctrines, he is a proud man. This is talking about Esau. This is talking about you Edomites, man. Neither keepeth at home. You don't keep at home. Where's your home? In Mount Seir, who you changed to Petra, that name Petra, meaning rock. That's where you get the word Peter, or the name Peter from. Peter means rock in Greek. Petra, right? He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. You go to Europe. Europe is not the land of the so-called Caucasians, man. Europe is the word is Europa, which was a Japhite queen who was dark skinned. The Japhites, the people that were the Etruscans, the original Latins of Italy and Greece. Those were Japhetic people who Esau conquered and pushed out of that land. The original land of Europe was the land of Japhet, and that's why it's you have clowns today talking about what do you call it? Oh, what the hell did they say? They say that something they mix something with Europe and Japhet and Esau. They say Esau is Japhet or some BS like that because today so-called they say Esau is not white. He said the whites are Japhetic today. That's what they say because you have Caucasians or we know the Mesopotamite, they live in Europe today, but that's because they stole that land from the original Japhetic people. They conquered them like Esau does in the time of Philip, the Macedonian, who was the father of Alexander the Great, or the creep, like the apostles call him. You know, during that time, and then of course during the Dark Ages, we had them as servants and slaves, popping them, and then they intermarried with us. Then the bubonic and pneumonic plague took over Jake, and the rest is history, right? Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and this is the point, and is as death. And what did he say in the Planet Apes? He is the harbinger of death, man. These devils are the harbinger of death and cannot be satisfied, man. He wants your soul, man. This devil wants your totality, man. He wants to own you. He wants to be like the Most High and own you people, man. That's what this whole chip is about, the mark of the beast, which they're going to bring in through Bitcoin. You dumbasses getting Bitcoin. That's just a big social experiment by the elites, man, to get you people ready for the mark of the beast, the microchip. You're going to see. You don't have to believe it. You're going to see it, man. You know? Okay. And is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And what is that going into? That's your melting pot theory right there. Right? That's your melting pot. The green roots, no, to the brother Yashar Allah Khan, the green roots, tea, those are leaves. Those aren't roots, those are leaves. To the brother. Those are I gave you nettle leaf and moringa. Those are just tonics. They have a lot of nutrients that supply to your body. Um, they kind of, I guess you can say they kind of gently detox because they're antioxidants. But the roots, the brown roots, which is sarsaparilla, burdock, dandelion root, they more detox your body, clean your blood. Burdock is a very good blood cleanser. Dandelion root is a liver tonic. Burdock root is a liver tonic. Sarsaparilla is very rich in iron, right? You need iron for your blood, right? For the oxygen. It's also I believe sarsaparilla is also a liver tonic as well, which I can read it. You can read about sarsaparilla, because sarsaparilla, man, that's a very, very good herb, man. So sarsaparilla, it says anti-inflammatory and blood cleansing, used for quick relief to skin problems such as psoriasis, eczema, itchiness, gout, rheumatism, rheumatoid arthritis, and stomach aches. It even helps with impotence and virility issues because of its testosterone-like effects on the body. So it increases testosterone. And sarsaparilla is also it is an aphrodisiac, a libido, right? To get you good with the ladies, so to speak. All right. It's a tonic. If you get like those Benjamite drinks, those tonics or those root tonics, a lot of times they'll have sarsaparilla in there. Especially Jamaican sarsaparilla is very good. Has progesterone type effects on women to help with menopause, menstrual problems, PMS and depression, anti-inflammatory, estrogenic, cholesterol lowering, anti-stress, used for asthma, pulmonary issues, rheumatism, stomach aches, cough, cystitis. This is one of the 3 ingredients in the original root beer recipe. Sarsaparilla, sassafras, and birch, which is very good. Hey, that was original. That's not that what's that shit called? The root beer today with the dog on it. Barks or whatever the fuck it's called. Right? May cause stomach upset and temporary kidney problems. Do not take it on medication because it is also medicine and a tonic. And just like with so-called medication today, so-called medication today has side effects, right? It tells don't take more than this. Don't mix this with this. Same with herbs. Herbs are medications, brothers. This is a warning or admonishment. Just be careful. Be careful with herbs because herbs are medicines as well, and they can damage the body. There's certain herbs out there, like one I can think of is called bloodroot. Bloodroot is a herb that has a very low daily dosage, especially as a tincture. Which if you overtake it can cause damage. It can cause many problems. Golden seal. Golden seal is another powerful herb that if you take too much, you can have problems. There's herbs that can cause, if you take too much, it can cause liver problems. It can cause kidney problems. It can overtoxify you. It can work in the opposite way. So always, 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 as a scripture says, 1 John 4:1, try the spirit, test it. What I'm telling you, I'm just referencing things. I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm not, telling you this is the cure for it. I'm just giving you information, man. Like Morpheus said, I can only show you the door. I can't, you got to walk through it. Us as prophets, we're only fishers, man. We're only fishers, man, we're only compellers. We're only trying to compel you. Persuade you, as the scripture says, knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, right? So we can only tell you about these things. You got to read, you got to study, you got to try it out, man. And really study it, man. If you get into a herb, go into it and read about it. Get a book about herbs. Get different references. Go on different sites. Don't just go on Wikipedia and read, oh, I know everything about dandelion. Or I know everything about fucking sarsaparilla. Right? Get a book on herbs, maybe 2-3 books on herbs if you're really into it. Ask the Most High for understanding. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's the first and foremost. Do that. Go on different websites. There's a lot of there used to be a stigma about, oh, you're just reading off Google. Well, now the online is what? It's a library. It's an electronic library of information. There's all kinds of great information out there about herbs, man. And ask the Lord to guide you. That's another important thing, because the Lord has to guide you. The Most High has to guide you. One last thing I want to get into as a reference is essential oils, man. These things, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something, man. These things right here, I got to talk about them a bit. Like this, for example, it's a small bottle as you see, what does it say? Frankincense, right? It says frankincense, right? This is what an essential oil is a distillment. If you don't know what a distillment is, you look it up. It's basically a operation or device or method of evaporating. Okay, when you put I said look it up to get into more detail, but I'm just giving you a little layman term. But when you boil water, you see the water what boiling and it's evaporating. What they do is they catch those vapors right here. So this is literally like the vapors of the oil. And what they do, they steam distill plants and resins because frankincense is not a plant, it's a resin, it's a gum from a tree, it's a sap that hardens. So they steam distill this and it turns it to an oil. They catch the distillation of it, the vapors of it, so you can understand. It's very, 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 very tedious procedure because you have to get a small bottle. This is like was it 15 milliliters? This is 15 milliliters. As it says here, Boswellia carteri, which is the Latin name from Egypt. If you need a whole lot of physical frankincense to make this. That's my point. To make a small bottle like this, you need a lot. So one drop of this, and you smell it, hey man, and this thing ain't cheap, man. But the thing about it is, people trip out because you can go to Winners and find certain essential oils. Those aren't the real essential oils because a lot of them are synthesized, meaning they have chemicals into them. They're diluted. This is 100% pure frankincense. What I'm holding right here will be like a whole bunch of frankincense. And this is the pure frankincense. What you can do with this, you can add a drop to your head. You can literally, like if I put a drop on my hand, right? You put a drop and activate it. You just move your hands clockwise, and then you can just put it on your head, man. Or you could just put a drop on your head. And what essential oils do, they actually penetrate the skin within 20 seconds, man. I'm gonna have more information. I don't have it right here. You can even smell it. And by the way, your body smells things faster than anything. Your body smells things faster than sight, faster than touch, faster than taste. Your body recognizes smell much faster. That's why certain things, like let's say you're in your 40s and you had some great memory about something associated with food. This happens to people all the time. They'll be walking one day and they're 40 and they walk by and they smell something and right away, as soon as they smell, before you even realize it, your body goes back to that memory. Your mind goes back to that memory and it just reminds you of that time when you were 15 and you had that whatever it was, and those things happen. So my point is smell. So your body, you smell it. So the oils that are antidepressant, for example, like lavender, vanilla essential oil. I mean the essential ones. Vanilla is pretty expensive too. Lavender, they're all pretty. Like this right here is like $22, but you use a little. You use one drop because again, people use not for the essential oil. Certain essential oils you have to dilute. Dilute meaning you put olive oil or almond oil or avocado oil, like a teaspoon, and then you add 1-2 drops of the essential oil, and you use it on your body wherever you need it for whatever purpose. Because again, study these things. I'm not going in depth. I'm just giving you information. Study these things. These essential oils are powerful, man. These essential oils are very, very, very powerful. And what you can do is you get a diffuser. Get these diffusers at Winners or Marshalls. See, I'm having right now. It's not burning. This is just water. You activate it, and it steam distills again. This is distillation right here. This is what distillation is. And this is distilling. I got in here lemon essential oil. I got frankincense. I got sandalwood. This is pricey too, I gotta say, but this is from last year, and this thing lasts, and it lasts long. And this smell, man, you can't like, man. When I smell that, You know, if I smell any kind of other sandalwood that's synthesized, that's $10. You know, and it'll tell you only 3% of the sandalwood, and this says 100% pure premium essential oil. 100%. Some of them at Winners read it like rose essential oil. That's expensive, man. Because you need, like, I think there's a stat about peppermint or lemon, one of the essential oils. It took, I think, 100 pounds to get 1 drop of oil. It took like 100 pounds of the herb, man. So imagine rose. Rose is very expensive. For like 5 milliliters is like $65, man, which is like half the size of this bottle, right? So again, like Winners and shit, they'll have site they'll have essential oils, but it'll say like only 3%, 3%, right? And then the rest is what? Bullshit, man. So again, these things are not just for smell. Don't get it twisted. The smells are therapeutic, but these things actually work on a deeper level. Again, like I said, Lord's will do a video on it later when I have the information. These things, by the way, they penetrate the skin and they penetrate every cell in your body. Every single cell in your body, they're penetrated. Okay? This thing penetrates. Matter of fact, I got the info here. Yeah, I got the info right here. So that's the spirit. It was at the corner. I just keened into it. Yeah. I'll just read the basics, but I still gotta probably do a deeper video on it, because these things help, man. These things heal. You know, I've used them for a while. I know brothers out there use it too, because that's the Most High gives us these things, man. This is the knowledge of the Most High and His Son, man. This is the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So, of course, they're gonna give it, right? It tells you that they gave all the knowledge, that the Most High found out all the ways of knowledge, and He had given it unto Jacob, His servant, man. I'm just trying to find a highlight, like, so. The highlights of what the essential oils do. This is just a couple of papers. So these oils, essential oils in the air, right? It says they have the power to alter mood. They do this via several means. Firstly, oils are capable of cleaning the receptor sites in the brain that have been clogged with chlorine, petrochemicals, tobacco residues, etc. Which chlorine is what? In the water. Chlorine's in the water. When you shower, man, I'm gonna tell you, when you shower and you don't have a chlorine filter, all that steam and you're whistling and you're singing in the shower, man, all that steam is chlorine, and your body, you're taking that hot ass shower, your pores open, so all that chlorine is not only just being in your hair and all that shit, it's going into your system, man, and it disrupts a lot of shit in your system. So again, clogged chlorine, petrochemicals. One cool thing is therapeutic lemon grade essential oil. All the petrochemicals, meaning like shit we breathe, like styrofoam from the restaurants, that's petrochemical on there, right? And guess what? Your hot ass food is melting, is the petrochemicals going into the damn food. So what lemon does, if you take a styrofoam, like a Chinese restaurant container, put 1 drop of lemon essential oil therapeutic on it, in a couple minutes, I think in 1 to 2 minutes, it starts dissolving it. There's going to be a hole there because the lemon dissolves petrochemicals. So if you can take essential oils, if it's 100% therapeutic grade like lemon, and you can put 1 drop under your tongue, which goes into your system, which will destroy petrochemicals in your body. I'm just going to skim through. I'm not going to bring out all this stuff. There's just too much. I got to bring it out later. So again, diffusing oils increases ozone and negative ions in the home and workplace, which inhibit bacteria growth. They also increase the body's ability to uptake oxygen. The simple act of diffusing an oil in the air can increase a person's immune function by up to 33%. So if you have immune essential oils that help with the immune system, that's very good. You know, and these things do help, man. They do work. I'll say that they do work. So oxygenation is important because why? Of course, gives life to the cells, transport nutrients, delivers nutrients to the cells, stops premature aging, gives energy, etc., etc. Right? All this sort of stuff. So essential oils are able to what? So they are lipid soluble. Lipid is another word for that is fat. Okay. Lipid soluble and can pass through cell membrane, meaning they go directly into the mitochondria, which is the center of your cell, the energy source of your cell. Every cell in your body, which what we have, Esau tells you what they have like you have trillions of cells in your body. Increases oxygen availability by an additional 21% within 20 minutes of application. Carry nutrients, ozone, antioxidants, hormones, and negative ions to the cell. See, so it does a lot of stuff for your body, man. Dissolves petrochemicals. Yeah, so it does a lot, man. So that's what you can do. You can put up these holy oil, man. Frankincense was used by our ancestors, man, by the brothers from GMS Dallas in class 3, Elder Yashawamba. They did a beautiful lesson months ago, man, about getting into the oils, the incense. This is just another form of incense, distillation, right? Um, Burning physical incense is amazing as well. Actually getting real frankincense and myrrh, right? There's myrrh essential oil, there's frankincense essential oil, sandalwood, right? So with that, I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for letting me bring out this information. And salutations and double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone who I learned the truth from. And salutations unto the brothers and your sisters out there that do take heed. I hope you learned something. Until next time, Shalom.